How's it going, everyone? And welcome to No Excuses Abridged. We're zipping through the weeks because we already did them and we lost the recording. So, TLDR, Willie Brown joke, D&D, Ferns on a raft, Vol rolled SEO and got the good stuff. He liked the story a lot in the current event. Me and him both hated the event grind because it's long and boring. Now, my week. I'm a thought. It's fun times. My dog's dying.
This is going to make it sound way more interesting than it was.
Wow.
And now, we're back up to the news.
So for those
we
who haven't
lost an awful lot of material.
Yeah, for those
even
who
though for the
weren't
listener
here
no
live,
time has passed.
except for Missing No. So
Well,
yeah,
except for Missing No.
Missing No's the only reason y'all have a show this week, by the way.
yeah. So thank him.
Yeah. So send him tribute, etc.
Yes, send him candy. Everyone likes candy.
So yeah, we just talked for 2 straight hours with no stream turned on. No
it
audio
wasn't
on the
that.
stream.
Yeah, the stream was working. And I was getting green lights until I looked in exactly the right place, because it turns out that OBS had decided, you know what? I'm going to listen to absolutely nothing. But I'm going to make you think I'm listening.
This is why I tell y'all you can't ever not unmute the dashboard version of the stream on YouTube, because you will not know.
Yeah. I could be getting green lights, and sometimes it's green lights because it likes to make blinky lights. So this has been fun.
The worst thing ever.
Yes.
So, we can at least give them the news.
We can at least do that.
I don't feel like I've got enough gas left.
that did just take the wind out of our sails. But
thank you,
we need
technology. You are unreliable as always.
We should make sure we don't lose our track record and start huffing and puffing and blowing on them sails to get this boat moving somewhere. Much like Fern's raft.
My raft is stuck on an island at the moment.
So, Epic Games.
Yeah,
Right.
so...
Okay.
Where were we? Have to start at the beginning.
Epic. Okay, so there's one major story this week which has significant import, and that is the story of how Epic have decided to scam Microsoft and Apple into getting themselves embroiled in a ridiculous lawsuit, which serves them all right as far as I'm concerned. But at any rate, basically the way the story goes, in brief, is that because both of those because the mobile version of the game operates through the Apple Store and the Google Store respectively, all in-game sales go with a 30% cut going to the person running the store, in this case Apple or Google. And Epic decided that they want to shake up this paradigm, so they, against the terms of service, added in a functionality to their game which allows people to purchase their in-game funny money directly from Epic while going entirely around the Google Store and the Apple Store at a 20% discount to the player. So this is to the consumer's advantage, strictly to the consumer's advantage.
Mm-hmm.
They were duly booted off both of those platforms by Google and Apple respectively because, well, that's against their terms of service and it's depriving them of revenue. Unfortunately for those two, and I don't see how they couldn't have seen this coming, they must have seen it coming, the whole thing was just a scam to use the current situation where, generally speaking, the public's opinion of big tech companies isn't that ascendant, and they've gotten a lot of political attention recently for their manifold malfeasances.
That's putting it nicely.
But basically, Epic have lodged a lawsuit for anti-consumer or monopolistic practices leveled at both those major tech companies, and are basically reframing what is essentially a simple breach of their terms and conditions as this very pernicious attempt to suppress competing platforms and that sort of thing. Basically, they are involving themselves in the current popular narrative about the role of tech companies in suppressing the little guy. Yes, Epic sees themselves as a little guy. And they had chambered and ready to go an ad campaign which is directly parodying a 1984 styled ad campaign that Apple ran back in 1984 when the big dog in the room was IBM. So they had a sequence based on the film version of Orwell's 1984.
Yeah, the girl swinging the hammer around and chucking it at Big Brother on the screen. That iconic ad that you've definitely seen somewhere before.
Yeah. Or if you haven't seen it, you've probably seen memes of it at least. But they had an ad ready to go which plays on this, which I think is deeply ironic considering that the Epic are like half owned by Tencent. But
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There are so many ways this can blow up for the customers and make this horrible for everybody. Yes. It's not even funny. And the biggest one is, okay, so let me back up a sec. Epic's claim is that video games and certain app types are not treated fairly or equally within the terms of service of especially Apple, but also Google, and that other types of apps get more leniency in this terms of service, and therefore it's not applied evenly. This can backfire specifically just on its surface, because let's say Epic gets what they want and Apple says, fine, we'll apply it evenly. They lose their case. Customers, they don't have a claim anymore. They just resolve the claim. But now everybody is likely going to pay more for all these sub-services like Netflix and whatever because they have to up their costs to stay on the App Store and still make a profit.
I don't think that's likely to happen. I really don't, because I don't think that they're willing to eat that. I don't think those big companies are willing to eat that. The reality is Amazon is big, right? They can stand toe to toe with Google and with Apple. They will end up fighting that out, and they will not be willing to take the hit to their sales that upping the prices involves.
I suppose there is the infinite money problem. I'm just stating it as a possibility in a way it can blow up. I don't think it's particularly likely either.
It doesn't seem like it could. There are too many big money interests involved in this. And that's sort of part of what makes it so interesting, is that there's no obvious outcome.
And the reason I'm bringing up the ways it can blow up in customers' faces is because I see no news covering this, and most of it seems to be cheering on Epic. And
yeah, I think that's just sort of a knee-jerk reaction that, oh well, we know that Google's now evil, so they must be in the wrong here.
And that is a true statement, but Epic can also be wrong too, and this is all Epic who took the initiative here. And people are not seeming to get that across their brains. The other way it can absolutely blow up is by blowing all of the built-up bad will towards big tech on the wrong issue in courts.
Yeah, and I think that would be an incredible waste. I hope that it doesn't go down like that. But the arguments they're making, they don't seem to me, they don't feel to me like the sort of arguments that you can win with. Like, how do I explain? I feel like the arguments are too much based on sort of emotion and the current mood to be effective. Like, they open their court brief by discussing, the whole "don't be evil" thing. That seems like you're setting the scene here, but that's the sort of pitch you make to the public, not to a judge.
It's like the what it reminded me of, to bring politics into this, even though I already tried to get it out in the show that we lost. It reminded me of the way the left attacks Donald Trump. Look at this bad man. We're the good guy because he's the bad man, and they don't have any message of their own. They just took the initiative to say he's a bad man, and they're going to get him for it.
No, tortured political analogies aside, they are very much doing a thing to take advantage of the current climate as far as the large tech companies are concerned, because particularly there's a lot of political attention around them. The thing is, there's also a lot of political attention around the legitimacy of microtransactions, and so it seems like they're also taking a certain amount of risk in that sense. But
But I don't think a U.S. court is going to muddle itself as much as like an EU court would in that. They seem to be much more ahead in terms of paying attention to the microtransactions.
I do feel like people are primed and ready to bring the antitrust law boot down on the likes of Google. I think that people very much want to see that. And it's bipartisan as well, because the right hates Google for being monopolistic and the left hates them for being the man.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose situation for these guys in this, as far as public opinion is concerned. In a fair legal system, which we're not guaranteed to get because this is happening in California, I'm pretty sure. I don't think Epic has a case here. Not for something that did them damage anyway, but they say they're not seeking damages, which is really, really weird if you're the one initiating the lawsuit. So it's really hard to call what's going to happen with this. And it makes it, California just makes it even worse. Because you could get a judge that believes any kind of wackadoodle thing and is an activist for whatever faction he's a part of. But, yeah.
I mean, the thing is that there's no reason for the consumer to go to bat for Google or Apple here, because it is strictly advantageous to the consumer to be able to get a hold of, in the case of Fortnite, that 20% discount for going directly to the manufacturer. So the tack that Epic are taking, broadly speaking, is that the fee is a payment processing fee. That 30% cut is a payment processing fee. And that it's like tenfold out of proportion to what would be normal for a payment processing fee.
Yeah, it's normally 3.5%-ish at most.
So I feel like that's where they're going based on what they've submitted to the court. Is that they're framing it that way. But the thing is that, you know, even though that argument might work on a judge who doesn't know anything, but it's sort of not really true, is it? Because they're providing a sales platform more than they're providing a payment processor. So yeah, it seems like it's going to be tough, and this is the sort of lawsuit that will drag on and on, I think.
Yeah, all Apple's lawyers have to do to draw this out is say, we thought it was implied that was a content hosting fee, even though we didn't explicitly state it.
Because, you know, any sane man would see that.
Yeah, and this is immediately turns this into what does the judge think, and it's going to take forever to have 50 different hearings about the little aspects of the case, especially during Wooflu time. So, yeah, I don't know how to call it. I can't make any predictions with this. Because there's so many things in the air and in play, and we don't have what their core argument's going to be really outlined, because they could take a few different tacks with it, but they're also vague and waffly. It looks like they could fall back on any of their other ones as soon as the judge looks at them funny.
Well, I mean, documents have been submitted to the court, so I presume someone like Nicky Rackets is going to do a breakdown of them at some point to try and, you know, work out where the lay of the land is on this particular issue.
Yeah, I haven't taken the time to watch Nick this week, so he might have already done one. I think he talked about it briefly on one of his streams in the title I saw, but
it seems like it's a major topic, though, not a side topic for another stream.
Yeah,
because this will affect a lot of different things, regardless of how it eventually decides to shake down.
Yeah, and we could get some really wackadoodle rulings too, just because the judge may decide he's fed up with the big tech companies and doesn't care how frivolous lawsuit is. Like, it's just really hard to call, man.
Yeah, Epic has to have some sort of plan going into this, otherwise they wouldn't have done it.
This has clearly been in planning for a long time. This is not a spur of the moment thing that they suddenly decided to do one day.
You don't have an ad ready to go that you put on the monitors in Fortnite to show to your player base, unless this was an op you planned months and months ago.
Yeah, like this is a fully astroturfed grassroots op.
Yeah,
Like they had laid the groundwork. This has been planning for a long time. I think they just wanted to get some more money, and this was the attack to regain control over distribution.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other? I think that's pretty much all we can say because there's just so much up in the air. I think we just got to sit back and watch this one.
This will be something that we periodically cover as updates come out that are big and juicy, and it'll be interesting to see what comes out because no matter what happens, there's the potential for big implications.
Yeah.
As far as the big tech companies are concerned, because they literally control everything.
Yep.
So
we'll just have to wait and see. That's all you can do.
There was another story this week that I'm brain farting on that wasn't the Halo story because that one's kind of small, but I'm totally brain farting on it.
Also funny.
Yeah, that was funny though. Halo, and for those who are wondering, Halo Infinite got delayed because of course it did.
Because of
after
course.
After they saw that feedback, they're like, no, we're definitely going to take that back and clean it up a bit. Because they don't want to eat another PR disaster, I guess.
Yeah.
I've heard that somebody did a really in-depth breakdown of the actual technical issues with the lighting engine, which were causing it to look so garbage. I haven't actually searched it out myself, but yeah, apparently there were some like significant flaws with how it was engineered, and that's the reason why it looks so garbage.
Yeah. I can believe it. Well, you'd think they would have sorted that stuff out before they put that trailer out, because...
Yeah, that's the weird thing about it, isn't it? Like, it seems like this would be something that you don't want to be botching on your flagship franchise.
That trailer just looks like complete arse. There's no two ways about it. It just looks like arse. So, I don't know. Was there... Yeah, did you find that other article?
I'm scrolling through my YouTube feed because I'm pretty sure that's where I saw it.
Right.
I don't see it. I'm going to smack myself for forgetting on it.
Professionalism,
we just had the first half of the show explode.
Yeah, and when we tried to fix things, we just made things worse. So, we had a great show, but you can't hear it, and we had some great topics, but we can't find them now.
Oh yeah, what we actually did before this was, the absolute best content we've ever done.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
You got to hear about.
You'll never know what you missed. It'll be like episode -1.
Yeah, you get to hear about all my Tom Thottery in the unreleased episode -1.
Yes, Tom Thottery, eh?
That's the best word I could come up with.
That's a good one.
Right,
I like it. We should keep using that one.
But yeah, I do not see it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give up on it. It'll smack me in the face as soon as we end the show.
Which, honestly, I think we should probably do. This has been a very, very short episode.
That was much longer, but you're not going to get to see the first half of it because OBS ate it.
OBS ate it.
Because we done.
Because it lied.
Yeah, that's the whole hour and 45 minutes and 30 seconds. Just kill.
Kill.
You didn't even get my Willie Brown joke.
That's probably a good thing.
As the election season rages on, I'm sure you'll have opportunities for even spicier memes.
Rage is probably the right word, too. Good gravy. This upcoming election is just one big meme buffet, honestly.
It's going to be a total clown fiesta.
I'm not even kidding when I say I may disappear for a few weeks around election time if things start going really bad.
Don't forget your bullets.
Those are really expensive right now.
Yeah, they are. I'm
not kidding. They're like $1 a bullet.
Good grief. That is expensive.
It used to be 25 cents per however many is in a cartridge.
Jeez. So everyone's prepping, as it turns out.
Yeah, everybody is just like, somebody's going to do something, and we don't want to be the ones without bullets.
Yeah.
So, it could get bad. I may disappear for a while. All right, folks. Closing comments, go.
So, we both had a very long show and a very short show.
Yeah, I'm depressed about that now.
Yeah.
Although I wish our election season was going to be as fun, but our prime minister banned the other parties from campaigning, so it's pretty much a walkover victory now.
What is even going on in New Zealand? Good gravy.
We elected a fascist. That's what's going on.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh no, you don't have freedom of speech. Never mind.
Not anymore, he doesn't.
Yes, Missy. No, it was the longest show. It was the shortest show.
That's a highbrow joke, sir.
Considering the level at which we operate normally, I think Missing Knows the only person who's added any class to this.
We'll make it up to you somehow.
Yeah, maybe we'll do something during the week if we can find time.
Next week we'll have 2 Willie Brown jokes.
No. All right, let's get out of here, shall we?
All right, I am probably going to return to being the thought in PSO2.
I feel like I've been fighting Dark Falls Luther for about a quarter of an hour now.
Because you have.
I picked super hard just to see what it would be like.
Oh, are you regretting that?
Oh,
Yes, profoundly.
yeah, that's bad juju, man. All right, folks, we'll see you next week. Hopefully, with a show that's a full show instead of a
One
dead
of these
show.
days, we will get a show that's not plagued by technical issues.
Oh, sayonara. Bye bye.